So on that note, I want to turn now to talk about Victoria Chase, who in many ways is a binary opposition to Kate and also to Max. And, she always feels like she has something to prove and needs to partake in some peer group one-upmanship. There's a Victoria in every school and every workplace, and it's a stereotype of superficiality and arrogance, masking an insecurity that persists in, quite a popular stereotype in fiction, particularly of an adolescent persuasion. I think she's basically like Draco Malfoy, but in Life is Strange. So Victoria is actually quite interesting because she's what we might consider a grey character, or rather a character that slips into various guises depending on how the game progresses and how we choose to interact with her. Her general character is to be an antagonistic bitch, which from the outset she proves to be quite consistently. But she also slips into a more helpful pseudo-ally in places if we choose to help her, particularly, after the paint bucket situation. And we also see her as a potential victim depending on how we choose to play the game. Now, the binary opposition to Max is interesting because where Max is representative of the backwards-looking and epitomises this nostalgia and the value of the analogue, I would argue that Victoria represents the ideals of the vacuous modern and the technology of today. Fundamentally, Victoria is not a bad person, but she is representative of basically everything that's wrong with the celebrity-obsessed ideals of contemporary culture and the cult of personality that things like social media bring to bear. And it's only right at the end of the game when we actually talk to Victoria at the Vortex party that we truly realise this, and, she despairs that all she really wants is to become a famous photographer. And that's prudent because it's not a photographer in general, but a famous one. And this shows her hostility towards Max and other art students is generally fostered by a sort of jealousy and a desire for recognition by her peers and the world around, the wider world around her.